Hey guys, my name is Reverend Phoenix and welcome to the Structure of Man Learn to Draw the Human Figure from your Mind Training course. Okay, so coming off from the previous lesson, I had left this as a challenge for you to complete, and this is basically what it should be looking like, right? So you can have a little slightly different version of yours. Right, so in that previous lesson we had looked at really what the end result is going to be, that basically in the end, because we're really talking through the whole concept of the entire skeleton system, in the end when we understood all the muscles, it's just going to come down to that the mind will just know the forms of the human figure, right? It will just know it by ratios. It will know whether how the pec muscles are. It will know where the belly button is compared to where the love handles are, right? The relationships, even from the side here, you can see that you're going to get your buttocks here and your belly button will be here. And you always know that this area here is going to be where your love handles are going to be, right? So this form just shows you what happens when you know the skeleton system inside and out, just the way we are, that it will allow us to draw very fluid and realistic looking figures, right? And here in the neck area, you'll get to know there's this area here under the neck that gives it that soft tissue over here, right? And this is something you can notice, yeah, even in the mirror. If you look, you'll see that the jawbone is here, but then right under it, there's this fluffy area in here, right? So this is like the understanding of the forms, right? So when we're drawing out the figure, really we're just going to be using the toolkit and turn really everything into basic shapes like this, and then come back on top of it and really just use contour lines to define the structure, right? But we cannot do that unless we have the knowledge of the muscles. Okay, so here you can see it's just getting easier and easier for the mind to grab the concept of the skeleton structure, right? It's going through these mastery phases because we're inventing everything as if it's our own idea. So now we're going to take a look at the bottom area here of the skeletal structure, which is going to be the femur bone. So in order to understand this, it's going to be actually very simple. What we need to do, here we're just going to first draw out a line over here. Here I'm going to make this as big as possible. So what we need to figure out is we need to fit the pelvis and then where the knees section is, right? So this is the line for the knees, and this is really going to be the line for the belly button, right? So what we need to do is basically divide this in about 3 equal sections. That's like the most easiest way to do that. So you can just fiddle around with some of these lines here, or you can just take one conceptual line here and then just make sure that you're going to, okay, that should fit on my camera here. So here I'm just going to actually make this a little bigger over here, and just about here, right? So I'm really right here at the bottom. Okay, so here are going to be my lines here, right? So this is the crotch area is now over here, okay? And this is the line for your knees, okay? So what we'll do is we can now just really, to understand how big we should do it, all we need to really do is do it with the head size, right? So if this was the head, if we had really just drawn this out like this circle here, let's say we were drawing out like this circle, right? You really just need to draw like half of it. You can just basically come up with an idea. Okay, well, I already know that it's really just going to be here, so you can just figure out that this is really where the pelvis is going to be. So here I'm going to now draw out the box for the pelvis, right? Because we want to just understand how does it relate to the femur. So here I'm just going to draw it out very roughly here, like this over here. So this is going to be the crotch area, and we already know about that line over here, right? So we're going to really be dividing this area from this area here in about half. From here to here, I'm dividing this in half. It's going to be kind of like this over here, right? You just need to make a rough estimate of this. Okay, so here we can now just go down and make this into a whole box going all the way down over here. Okay, so this is going to be actually very simple to get. So here, let me just erase this line here for the skull. Okay, so if we had drawn out the pelvis area, here I'm just going to rough this in. Okay, so here's the idea for the pelvis that we had already know how to do this. Right, you're going to get the sacrum over here, and over here I'm going to get pretty much this idea here, the bones over here. This all should be very straightforward now as to how to we just design this over here. Okay, and then over here. Okay, so once I have this here, what we want to do is now fix this up. Okay, so here I'm just going to lightly erase some of these lines here, and now I'm going to put the good lines. Right, so here I'm going to do it like this. Over here it's just going in that direction, and this is going to be going in that direction over there. Okay, and then over here this is where you're going to get your socket for the femur. Right, so here in this curve here, right, you can just swoop it out a little bit more if you want to, like this. Right, so here you're just going to, it's just going to come like this over there. Kind of like this. You can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Right now, just be sketchy about it. Okay. So once we have this, right, so what we're going to do now, we just need to understand the basic concept of how does the femur work, because it's very simple. So basically, what's going to happen is that this is where the line that we had said that the knees must be above this line, right? This is the center line going down, okay? So what happens is that in order for the knees to be above this, what we need to do is basically know that the knees are going to be roughly around here, right? So here you can just put a line, just come up a little bit and put a line across over here, okay? So meaning that the femur has to sit above this line, okay? So what's going to happen is that this is your ball joint for the femur, right? Put two balls over here like this, and this femur is really going to do nothing more than just be designed like this, and it's going to be like this, right? So it's going to come a little bit out. That's about it, right? And what happens is that just know that it's going to come out, but when it comes down to the muscles, right, what's going to happen is that this is the love handles. You're going to get a piece of muscle over here that's going to be coming down all over here, connecting to this, and then you'll get your leg muscle. So you'll get like this dip, right? And it's really just a slight nudge that causes this to happen on the male figure, right? So on the female, it would be different. It would be just more wider. Okay. So once we get this concept here, what we need to do is just understand that these formulas are very organic, meaning that you just need to understand how the femur works, right? Because the legs really can be in any position. So what happens is over here that we can just divide this like this, right? Just give it a little space over here, right? Make this a little bigger and just make this bottom of the bone. And all you have to do is just connect this over here. This line from here to here, just like this, right? There's really nothing much more to this than just doing it this way. and this is basically the concept of the femur. So what happens is that you're going to get your knee bone. Here we're going to state that the knee bone is just going to be here, right? So you'll get the lower part here, under here for the lower legs, right? But this is the line for the knee that we have stated in the toolkit, but the knees will be above this. So basically the whole idea that when the muscle systems go in, your knees will be just roughly around here. Okay, so this here can be a little down if you wanted to. It doesn't really matter because this whole bone structure, your whole knee is going to be like this anyways, right? So it will fit correctly. So here we can just do the same thing, right? And just do it this way. Remember, this is because it's just standing in front of us. This leg could have been here, right? You can even make it this way. It doesn't matter. Regardless of if the figure is standing in a stance, just know how this leg system is working, right? You got to use like a pendulum system. So here I'm just going to do the same thing and just roughing this concept here, and this bone is nothing more than just this bone system going in this direction. Okay, and this idea for the bone is it's just going to be like this. There's really nothing special to be understood about this because we just need the mind to get the concept of it, that this is what's going on, right? So really you could make this a little bit in more 3D over here, just like this, right? So once you get that, you can now erase these lines and just make them much better looking, right? Like this. And over here, just notice that when we are doing this, we just want to keep it kind of, so here I'm going to tuck it in a little bit over here to make the drawing a little bit better over here, right? So you can change anything you want, just adjust your ideas as you move along. And here I'm just going to do it this way over here, and here I'm going to do basically the knee, right? So notice that this circle here is coming below this, right? Because it's going to attach to the other bone when we get to it. Right, so here I'm just going to make this a little more thicker. Right, it doesn't have to be so schematic, just make it look like a bone over here, right? So here, like that. So this is the front idea for the femur. Okay, so in the next lesson we'll look at another view of this. So I'll see you in the next lesson. Thanks.